What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to be doing the recap of Raw. Started off with Roman Reigns coming out, saying that he can't be beat one-on-one. He starts listing off people that he's beaten: Undertaker, Braun Strowman, etc., so forth. He was booed severely. And he says that he's going to be facing whoever wins at Great Balls of Fire because he is the #1 contender. Because this is his yard and he makes the rules. Samoa Joe comes out and Roman Reigns just tells him he'll always be just Joe. To which Joe starts a beat down on Reigns, tries to go for the coquina clutch. Roman Reigns breaks out of it and Superman punches Samoa Joe, and that'll do it for at least for a while. We then come to our first match, which is the Hardy Boys versus the Club. The Club had most of the offense for the majority of the match. The Hardys ended up coming back and ended up winning it. Somehow I feel this is going to be one of those matches we're going to be seeing for a while. It's just got one of those feels to it. We end up having another video package from Goldust, and it's hinting on them possibly having something going on next week. We then have Elias Samson out in the ring. He starts playing a song. Finn Balor's music hits and he gets interrupted. Elias Samson backs out of the ring. We have Finn Balor versus Bo Dallas, someone who has not been on Raw for quite some time. Actually, if you paid attention last week when everybody came out from the locker room to break up Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, he was spotted in, amongst the wrestlers that were that came out. But as far as wrestling on Raw, he's been absent. Bo Dallas was looking rather Wyatt-esque. He grew his hair out. He's got a beard. Like I can't remember, somebody, I think it was Steven Larson, a couple months back, was talking about Bray Wyatt should bring in Bo Dallas into the Wyatt family. And if that's the case, he's already got a head start for it. Before the bell rang, Bo Dallas starts pounding on Finn Balor. Balor gets a Pele kick on Bo Dallas, and Bo Dallas falls over rather comically. Finn Balor picks up the offense and ends up getting the pin. After the match, they go to the commentary table, and Corey Graves takes his headset off and walks off again. He later meets up with Kurt Angle backstage, and there's a conversation between them, and Enzo and Cass come in, and it was almost a waste. Seth Rollins comes out, and he's talking about being on the cover of WWE 2K18. He's the guy on the cover this year. And all of a sudden, here we go again, flashy shit. Mr. Wyatt comes out, or no, take it back. Wyatt's on the screen first, and blah, 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 blah. They go back and forth. More flashy shit. Bray Wyatt comes out, and right when he blows out his lantern, the lights go out. And when they come back on, Seth Rollins is on the top rope, and he jumps down onto Bray Wyatt. And somewhere in that, when he jumped down, either Bray Wyatt got his mouth busted and bled on Seth Rollins, or Seth Rollins got cut on the side of his face. Because when he went up the ramp, the camera caught. He visibly had some blood on his side of his face, and Bray Wyatt had blood on his mouth. So somebody bled. So I guess we're going to be seeing them at Great Balls of Fire, or probably for the next couple weeks leading up to Great Balls of Fire. We go backstage for an interview with Finn Balor. Halfway through the interview, Elias Samson jumps Finn Balor. He was getting a beat down basically for interrupting him. So I guess that's going to be our upcoming match at Great Balls of Fire. We then go to the Cruiserweight match, Akira Tozawa versus TJ Perkins. Right before the match starts, Titus O'Neil comes out and says, wait, we can't do this match like this. It needs to be hyped up. He comes in and introduces everybody again. It was a decent match. They got to do a little bit of flippy shit. They need to let the cruiserweights do their thing. They're grounding them too much. But it's a decent match. Neville comes out and starts talking trash on Titus. Titus, spits back at him. We then come to a video package of R-Truth. Everybody's saying the same shit. I hope this gets done with soon. It's getting old. Then again, half of what Raw's doing is just recycled shit week after week. We then go to another backstage bit where The Miz is trying to recruit some more stooges. This time it's Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. They said they'll think about it. Miz walks away. We then come to our match, which I was actually thinking was going to be the main event. It wasn't. Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. Surprisingly, it was a good match. There was a lot of back and forth between the two. I was actually thinking that Roman Reigns was going to pick this up like he always does. But he was setting up for the Superman punch, and you could hear the backup alarm echoing through the arena. The Titantron lights up and it's an ambulance backing up into the arena. Roman Reigns looks over to the Titantron to see what's going on, and guess who busts out of the ambulance? Braun Strowman. He's back. This distracts Roman Reigns enough to let Samoa Joe come up behind him, lock in the coquina clutch, and knocks out Roman Reigns. Braun Strowman's music hits. He comes out, choke slams Roman Reigns. The crowd is chanting one more time and tells Roman Reigns that he's challenging him at Great Balls of Fire to an ambulance match. You can see that coming a couple months back when all this crap was happening. But hopefully this will be the end of this feud. We can get moving on to bigger and better things, like Braun Strowman going against Brock Lesnar. We then have an episode of Miz TV. Yay. His guest is Maurice. She comes in. He hands her a glass of champagne. There's two bears, one saying I'm sorry and the other one saying please forgive me. There's a big ass present in the ring. The Miz says, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I got this gift for you. The gift is the grandfather clock that Maurice tried to give him. He fixed it up. Dean Ambrose's music hits. He comes out, and when he jumps in the ring, the Miz grabs Maurice, pulls Maurice in front of him. She spills her champagne on her. She gets pissed off and leaves. The Miz is screaming up the ramp for Ambrose. Tries to hit the dirty deeds on the Miz. The Miz runs out of the ring, and the two bears that were dancing in the ring are Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. So the Miz now has two stooges, which I guess with the Miz will make him the three stooges. Fitting. So Dallas and Axel start beating down on Dean Ambrose. The Miz gets the skull-crushing finale on Dean Ambrose, leaves him laying in the ring. This is another feud that's run its course, and it's run its course long past. All the way back when they were fighting in SmackDown, I figured, okay, when they got to Raw, they'll do their own thing. Nope, we're just continuing the same shit from SmackDown. We then have a tag team match. Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil versus Sheamus and Cesaro. It was a short match. It really didn't miss much. Sheamus and Cesaro did some shady shit and got the win. We then go to a video package for Great Balls of Fire, Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. Holy fucking shit. Can we kill any more time with this video package. It's just like, we've already seen this. We know what's going on. If you've been watching Raw for at least the past couple weeks, you've already seen everything that's in this video package. There's an interview with Samoa Joe saying what he's going to do to Brock Lesnar. There's an interview with Brock Lesnar saying what he's going to do to Samoa Joe. Really, this is I'm like real close to raging on this. It just killed time. We then go to our main event, which is another time waster. It's supposed to be Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss comes out on commentary. The match starts. Emma comes out, chases Alexa Bliss out to the ring. Alexa Bliss hides behind Nia Jax. Nia Jax tells Emma, what do you want? Emma says, I want her. Nia Jax grabs Alexa Bliss, throws her in front, says, there you go. Emma tries to kick Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss dodges, hits Nia Jax. Nia Jax destroys Emma. Then the rest of the women's division comes out, and it's a big-ass fight in the ring. Bayley comes out, big-ass fight in the ring. Although I will at least say this, Bayley looked a lot stronger this time than she has been recently. Sasha Banks wins with a DQ, because there was no real decision on that. The announcer didn't make any decision. So trying to think. So I guess it would be Nia Jax that won it, being that the outside interference hit Nia Jax. It was all screwy. We come to the final bit of the night. Kurt Angle said he was going to get to the bottom of who was attacking Enzo and Cass throughout the night. Kurt Angle was interviewing the Revival and interviewing the Big Show. Kurt Angle calls out Enzo and Cass, then calls out the Revival and the Big Show, starts questioning them. The Big Show says, we go a long way, and for you to ask me this, I don't think I need to be on the show with you. And he walks off. Enzo starts running the mouth. Dude! There was a bit in the ring where the Big Show tells Cass, in shorter terms, I'm gonna fuck you up if you even try to fight me. Which, that would actually be a decent match. I'd like to see, that would be pretty interesting. Big Show versus Cass. We then have the Revival stating their case that they didn't do it. Then Corey Graves from the announcer's table chimes in and says, maybe I can be of assistance. He calls out Big Cass about his injury, about the size of a baseball on the back of his head. Said he was never checked out by WWE staff. Cass says, well, it wasn't. He was checked out by EMTs. He says, well, that's funny. Let's go look at some security footage. And it shows Cass setting up the area that he got attacked in, distressing everything, and then laying down and holding the back of his head like he got knocked out. Enzo looks over at Cass in disbelief. Then Cass says, damn straight I did it. And he starts ripping into Enzo, saying that he's sick of always sticking up for him, and then proceeds to kick Enzo in the face, lays him out, and there we end up on this episode of Raw. This Raw was all over the map. I didn't like it. There was way too many spots where they were just killing time. Too many wastes of a match. I would say the Bo Dallas and Finn Balor match was decent. The Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns match was good. Everything else just seemed to be just wasting time. The Miz TV, the video packages, it was just a big waste. We had 4 matches, 5 if you count the quick Nia Jax, Sasha Banks match, which really didn't even go on long enough to really be called a match. And out of those 4.5, I guess, only 2 of them were any decent. Like I said, the Finn Balor and Bo Dallas and Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. The rest of the card was a waste. They could have done this a whole lot better. They could have cut so much out of it and at least made a decent matches. I mean, we've seen the Nia Jax, Sasha Banks bit before. It's been done. Hopefully SmackDown will pick up the pieces from tonight. This was just a shambles of a show. It was a waste of 3 hours. But ever optimistic am I. Hopefully next week will be better. So that'll do it for tonight's Raw recap. I will see you all tomorrow night for the SmackDown recap. If you like this video, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little bell right next to it. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.